Alfonso of Aragon 1481–1500. Alfonso of Aragon 1481 18 August 1500, Duke of Bisceglie and Prince of Salerno of the House of Trastámara, was the illegitimate son of Alfonso Roman II, King of Naples, and his mistress Trogia Gazzela. His father, cousin of Ferdinand Roman II, King of Aragon, abdicated in favour of his legitimate son Ferdinand Roman II of Naples. Early life. Alfonso received a thorough education in the humanities. His first tutor was Giuliano Mayo, who was then followed by the Florentine poet Raphael Brandolini, also known as Lippus Brandolinus because of his blindness. From an early age, Alfonso was involved in the crisis that hit the Aragonese dynasty of Naples. In 1495, Alfonso, aged 14, fought for the return to the throne of his half-brother Ferdinand, who became King of Naples in 1495 but died 1 year later. In 1497, with the restoration of the Aragonese control under his uncle Frederick Roman IV of Naples, Alfonso was assigned to the first position of responsibility and became the Lieutenant General of Abruzzo. Marriage. He was the most beautiful youth that I have ever seen in Rome, the chronicler Tellini. In order to strengthen ties with Naples, Pope Alexander VI arranged marriages between the House of Borgia and the royal family of Aragon. Alfonso's sister Sancha of Aragon was already given to the Pope's youngest son Giaffre Borgia in 1494. Alexander VI's idea was for his son Cesare Borgia to marry Carlotta of Naples, legitimate daughter of the newly crowned King Frederick Roman IV of Naples, but Carlotta would not agree to marry him. To appease the Pope, King Frederick eventually consented to a match between the Pope's daughter Lucrezia Borgia, aged 18, and the 17-year-old Alfonso of Aragon. On 15 July 1498, Alfonso entered Rome in disguise. Alfonso and Lucrezia were married in the Vatican on 21 July, with the celebrations being held behind closed doors. With Alfonso came the princely cities of Salerno, Quadrata, and Bisceglie. Lucrezia brought with her a dowry of 40,000 ducats. It was part of the agreement that they would remain in Rome for at least 1 year and not be forced to live permanently at the Kingdom of Naples until her father's death. According to Gregorovius, the youthful Alfonso was fair and amiable, the most handsome young man ever seen in the imperial city. By all evidence, Lucrezia was genuinely fond of him. In February 1499, Lucrezia reportedly lost her first baby with Alfonso. However, she was soon pregnant again. As the political situation changed, Pope Alexander VI looked to align with France, enemy of Alfonso's family. To this end, he arranged a marriage between Cesare Borgia and Charlotte of Albret, sister of King John Roman III of Navarre. Alfonso sensed betrayal when France planned to invade Naples, and on 2 August 1499 left Rome without his wife. His flight incensed the Pope. Meanwhile, Lucrezia was awarded the governorship of Spoleto and Foligno, meaning that Alfonso was a consort without formal responsibilities. Eventually, Alfonso was discovered through the letters he was sending to his wife in an attempt to persuade her to join him in Genazzano. With this discovery, her family ordered her to lure Alfonso to Rome. Lucrezia met her husband in Nepi. They then returned to the Vatican in September 1499. On the night of 31 October/1 November, Lucrezia gave birth to their son, who was christened Rodrigo after her father. Murder. Since Don Alfonso refused to die of his wounds, he was strangled in his bed butchered. On the evening of 15 July 1500, at the top of the steps before the entrance to St. Peter's Basilica, Alfonso was attacked by hired killers and stabbed in the head, right arm, and leg. When the assassins attempted to take Alfonso with them, his own guards put them to flight. The prince was residing in the palace of Santa Maria in Portico, but so desperate was his condition that he was taken to the chamber of the Borgia Tower, where he was cared for by his doctors from Naples, his sister, Sancha, and his wife, Lucrezia. On the night of 18 August, as Alfonso was still recovering from his wounds, Micheletto Corella, a group of armed men entered his room and strangled him in his bed until he was dead. Following his death, in the political context of a French campaign against Naples, Cesare Borgia was primarily accused of being behind the assassination. However, Alfonso's death remains shrouded in mystery. In his own defense, Cesare argued that Alfonso had attempted to kill him with a crossbow shot as he walked in the garden, but not many believed him. Alfonso, given his sympathy for the Colonna family, had enemies at Rome amongst the Orsini too, and it seems possible that the Orsini could have engineered the attempt on his life in July 1500. Among the accused was also Alfonso's uncle Giovan Maria Gazzera, mysteriously killed in Rome shortly after, and even Pope Alexander VI, because Alfonso, in May 1500, showed his discontent with the Pope's decision to nullify the marriage between Alfonso's cousin Beatrice of Naples and the Vladislaus Roman II of Hungary. 2 years later Lucrezia was given in marriage to Alfonso I d'Este. Lucrezia was obliged to simulate the appearance of a virgin spouse in order to marry d'Este. Accordingly, she was forced to leave Rodrigo of Aragon, her only child by Alfonso of Aragon, behind forever. Rodrigo Borgia of Aragon died of a disease in Bari at the age of 12. Portrayals. Alphonse Freiland in Lucrezia Borgia film, U.S. 1922. Max Mitchell in Lucrece Borgia film by director Abel Gance, France 1935. John Sutton in Bride of Vengeance film, U.S. 1949. Massimo Serrato in Lucrece Borgia film, France 1953. Fred Robsam in Lucrezia Giovanni film, Italy 1974. Robert Ullman Singer in Lucrezia Borgia opera by Dynasty, La Scala 1977. Ryan Michael in the Borgias BBC Two and RAI series, England, Italy 1981. Alexander Katsipov dancer in Lucrezia Borgia opera at the National Theatre Ballet, Prague 2003. Giorgio Marchesi in Los Borgia film by director Antonio Hernandez, Spain 2006. Alejandro Albarracin in Borgia Canal Plus series, France 2011. Sebastian de Souza in the Borgias Showtime series, US 2013. References